there's a little bit of wind, you guys. I might have to get up and fix the camera a couple times. But it's Tuesday. And we got to get going. So in my personal practice, I have been noticing that over time I've just like held on to certain things that I don't need to hold on to. And I don't normally consider myself like a person who holds on to grudges for too long. And then I listened to a podcast and it was like talking about how it can be healthy to hold on to grudges, because then you have time to process through them. I don't know how that converted into my brain, but then now I hold on to grudges again. So it's like, I think I'm gonna go back to just like whoosh wash and like not dealing with grudges, because I usually just like deal with it with the person. Anyway, so I've been doing opening of the heart. I've been doing a lot of poses that have to do with opening my heart, because then that way I'm like intentionally putting it out in the universe that I am open to receiving. So with that being said, I just want to guide us into putting our hands together, bringing them down to our heart center to get started with this. I'm kind of assuming you're already waiting for me at Sukhasana, your most comfortable seated position. And we're just going to begin to arrive. I apologize for anything, like if I have to get up and fix the camera, or if I just have to go inside because my mat won't stop blowing. So sorry about that ahead of time. As we shift our attention, we're about to go into daylight savings on Sunday. We're also going to be entering the autumn or fall season. I already know people are decorating their homes with pumpkins. Some people are carving pumpkins already. I just want to invite us to perhaps close our eyes if you're not already with your eyes closed, and just simply taking all the shift in seasons, take it all in, feeling the atmosphere around us change, the weather, the breeze. We have a lot of winds all over California. Wherever you are, just take in how that's shifting in your community. The trees are changing colors. And I thought this was a great time for me to practice opening of my heart, because we are changing seasons. So I feel like I'm at a good time where I can open up to receive new things, welcoming them into my life. Releasing the palms back to your knees. Simply coming back to that sound of your breath, maybe a little ujjayi breath where we constrict the back of the throat. Sounds like an ocean waves. As we draw the breath in through our nose, into our low belly, up the ribs and up the chest. Exhale, chest. Exhale, ribs. Exhale, belly button back towards your spine. Taking this a couple more times. Well, just several more times wherever you are. For this practice of centering ourselves, I just want to invite you to make the exhale longer than the inhale. Once we go into the practice, it can be the same time breath in and out. But for here, let's go in and out. inhale, you lift your torso, tucking your chin just slightly to find a long neck. The crown of the head is reaching toward the sky. With an exhale, relax the shoulders, unclench the jaw. Every time you exhale, your ribs just really feel like they're giving your organs, your lungs, a little bit of a hug. When you tuck your belly button back towards your spine, same idea, all the organs are kind of hugging each other. And when you inhale through your nose into your low belly and you fully expand, you allow each organ to fully express in its shape. Go ahead and float your hands back to your heart center. Palms meet one another. Press your thumbs up against your heart. Inhale through our nose and tilt our head back just slightly, and exhale through our mouth. Take that again. Last time. Go ahead and gently bring your head back to center. Shake out with your eyes closed, some nose. Today's practice is about opening the heart, saying no to unhealthy things. Go ahead and blink, softly open your eyes. Begin to take everything that's in front of you and around you. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to deep right into it and remove whatever's underneath your sit bone, set it off to the side. We're going to go into a wide-legged child's pose, and we're going to extend our arms out in front of us and then sink our hips to our heels as we draw the heart toward the earth. Really opening the shoulders, upper back here. Take an inhale, fill it all up, and then exhale. Let it out. One more time. Last time. If you are like me, who has things on her wrists almost always, go ahead and remove those here. I'm actually going to put my hair up in a bun. And we're going to meet back up into it's all fours, a tabletop. We're going to do some cat-cows here. So let's go ahead and stack our knees below our hips and our wrists below our shoulders. Spreading the fingers wide, middle fingers facing forward, tops of the feet are on the mat. Pressing through your big mountain toe, you're allowing your heels to come in toward midline as you inhale, swoop the belly forward and up, gazing up, and then exhale, tuck your chin, tuck the tail under. Then go ahead and drop both hips over to the right side, grounding your back as you inhale. And then as you exhale, go ahead and come up through tabletop, and then go ahead and drop the hips over to the left side, rounding the back. Inhale. And then exhale, come up. Tuck your toes under, sink your hips toward your heels. And then go ahead and allow your hands to sweep forward as your chest comes toward the earth. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, draw your hands back up. Stack your shoulders above your wrists. And then go ahead and lift your knees just slightly. And then come to a top of a plank. So go ahead and adjust your hands. Top of a plank here. And then go ahead and bend your knees fully as you shift your hips up and back for your first downward dog. And pedal out the feet here. Maybe lengthening of one leg and then the other. And go ahead and begin to walk yourself all the way forward, one step at a time, coming to the top of your mat. Interlacing your arms and open your legs a little bit wider than hip width distance, maybe mat width distance here. And then just sway side to side as the crown of your head just really melts toward the earth here. And you're following inhale. Go ahead and let go of your hands to begin to roll yourself up vertebrae by vertebrae. Micro bend at the knees, swoop your hands around and up, and then your palms meet one another, bring them down to Pranayama, heart center. You're following inhale, just swoop your legs just slightly, bring your arms all the way around and up, interlace your fingers, go ahead and pull your arms by your ears, they're hugging your ears, and then shift your arms, your torso over to the left. Rotate your torso over to the right. Really pulling down that right hip. Coming up through center. Pulling your arms all the way to the right. Rotate your torso over to the left. Beautiful. Really pulling down that left hip right there. And then come back through center. Place your hands onto your hips. Hinge at your hips, come forward and down, pressing through the backs of the legs. Plant your hands onto the mat. Step your right foot back. Rotate that right back leg in toward midline. Left leg 90-degree angle. Inhale your arms up for a crescent pose. And then go ahead and open your arms. Slight back bend here. Opening the chest, pressing it forward. As you exhale, plant your hands onto the earth. Step your left foot back. Rotate your feet over to the right side for a side arm balance, lifting the left arm up. Beautiful. Step it down. Top of a plank, release your knees onto the earth as you bend your elbows towards your ribs. Lead with your heart coming forward and down. Tops of the feet are on the mat. Inhale up for cobra. Exhale, come back to a child's pose. Take a breath here as you roll through a tabletop. Curl your toes under. Step your right foot forward. Runner's lunge. And then rotate that left back thigh in toward midline. Right leg is at a 90-degree angle. Inhale your arms up. Crescent pose. Slight back bend here, opening your arms, bending slightly at your elbows, pressing your chest forward here, and then bringing your hands right back down to the earth, top of a plank. Rotate both of your legs over to the left side and swoop your right arm up toward the sky. Lift your hips. Side arm balance. Exhale, bring it all down. Release your knees onto the mat. Wrists below the shoulders. Tops of your feet are on the mat. Heels meet one another. Bend your elbows, lean forward and down. Inhale up, swoop for cobra. Exhale. Sink your hips toward your heels for child's pose. Bring your arms around you by your sides. Rest your forehead onto the mat here. Just take a breath. You're following. Inhale, bring your arms all the way up. Look up at your hands and check that your fingers are being spread nice and wide. Middle finger is facing forward. Come up through a tabletop. Curl your toes under top of a plank. Swoop your hips. Press your hips up and back for a downward facing dog. Go ahead and open your shoulders outward. Press your heart toward your thighs, belly to spine. Lift your hips a little bit higher, and then allow your heels to sink toward Mother Earth. Go ahead and plant your left foot down, nice and tight, onto the earth. I like to spread my toes, and then, I did this every time, I always kick the wall. Go ahead and swoop your right leg up for a three-legged dog. And then exhale, bring it in toward your heart center. Inhale, extend it out. Exhale, heart center. Inhale, extend it out. Exhale, heart center. Rotate to the right, and then step that foot over across your body to the left. You can stay right here, holding yourself up if available to you. You can rotate your back foot and open your left arm up. Lift your hips a little bit higher. Inhale for a breath. And then exhale. Bring that left arm down. Hug your knee in toward your chest. Inhale, extend it out and release it down to the mat. Release your knees onto the earth. You can do a round of cat-cow here, or you can go into a child's pose for just a breath. Then go ahead and come back, curling your toes underneath, top of a plank. Bend your knees fully now, and then press your hips up and back for a downward facing dog. So rotate your shoulders out. Press your belly button back toward your spine, chest toward thighs. Lift the hips, and then allow your heels to sink toward the earth. You want to spread your toes nice and wide on your right foot. Lift your left leg behind you. Toes facing the earth for three-legged dog. Exhale, bring it in toward your heart center. Inhale, extend it out. Exhale, heart center. Last one. Inhale, extend it out. Exhale to your heart center. Rotate to the left side. Press that foot, not press, but step through the right side body. Allow the back foot to rotate down. Unless you're staying here, open up your arm over above you, opening up the clavicle. Inhale, lift the hips. This is a very challenging pose. Go ahead and bring the right arm down. Hug the knee in toward the heart. Inhale, three-legged dog extended behind you. And then exhale, release it down. Looking up at your hands. Step your right foot forward. And then go ahead and open up your left foot, the back foot behind you. Parallel to the back edge of the mat, we're going to go into Warrior 2. Right leg is at a 90-degree angle. And then you're going to press through the outer edge of your back foot. And then instead of just allowing things to sink, you want to lift that gluteus maximus, the pelvic area bone. Open up your knee so that you can gaze at your pinky toe. Open your arms out to a T. Gaze through your front middle finger. Relax the shoulders. engaging the back thigh. See if you can bring that back knee engaged up towards your hip. That sounds really weird, but what I'm saying is engage the thighs so that it literally feels like you're bringing it up towards your hip. On your following exhale, go ahead and interlace your hands behind you. Open up your shoulders and then allow your hands to sink back toward the earth below you. Gaze up at something that's not moving. Another back bend here. And then you're going to come forward and place your chest inside your front leg. So gently release your hands back down to the earth. Rotate the back foot so that you're on the ball of the foot. And then exhale, release that left knee down, the back knee. Top of the foot is on the mat. And then you're going to shift your hips to come back, rolling onto your front heel. If this is, good, stay obviously. Some people will need a block, a blanket, a stack of books right here for the right leg. Do what you need. Assist your body, assist yourself. Front foot is active, toes are facing the sky. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hinge at our hip and then begin to spider finger walk forward, leading with our heart. Tuck your chin just slightly, long neck. Gaze at your big toe. And you're following exhale, you want to bend the knee and then begin to press yourself up. Bringing your hands out in front of you for support. Right foot walks over to the right side. And then curl your back toes under and open your knee over to the left side just slightly. If you need some support for your knee, go ahead and grab that. I know the ground can be a little rough. Top of your back foot now is on the mat. If you need it tucked under for support, you can stay there. And then adjust your front leg to be at a 90-degree angle, but it is open at about mat width distance, so you're like super wide here. Your hands are in front of you. If available to you, you can come down to your forearms, or you can bring some blocks underneath your elbows. Big hip opener here. Take about 1 or 2 more breaths. When you're following, inhale, press yourself up, and then right where you are, just curl your back toes under, extend your front leg, come back through the heel, hinge at your hips forward, just the one time, and then come up. Place your hands in front of you, and then lift your back leg. Step your right foot back for top of a plank. Exhale, press your hips up and back for a downward facing dog. You're at a really wide-legged dog here, so your feet are about mat width distance. That's okay. Roll your shoulders out, press your heart toward your thighs, belly to spine. Lift your hips a little bit higher, sink your heels toward the earth. Beautiful. Keep pressing your shoulders away from the earth, keeping the shoulders rolled out. Look up at your hands, step your left foot forward. Right foot rolls. parallel to the back edge of the mat. Left front leg is at a 90-degree angle. And go ahead and inhale, come up with your torso. Pressing through the outer edges of your back foot, engaging the back thigh, opening the left knee so that I can gaze at my pinky toe, and then really lifting the pelvic bone. I'm engaging my glutes, opening up the arms to a T, gazing through my front middle finger. Relax the shoulders. You're following. Inhale, go ahead and interlace your hands behind you. Open the shoulders. Draw your hands toward the earth. And then look up at something that's not moving, keeping that front leg opened. Go ahead and draw your torso inside your thigh. Ever so gently releasing your hands back down to the earth. Roll onto the balls of your back foot. Open the front leg over to the outer edge of the mat. Release the right knee down. And then actually go ahead and walk that foot in just like normal, not too wide. And then get your block or your blankets ready, because we're gonna sink the hips toward the heel here. Top of the foot is on the mat. And we're rolling onto the heel of the front leg. Toes are active, they're facing up toward the sky, hinging at your hips, coming forward, gazing at your big toe. Then go ahead and come up, bend at your front knee, and then press yourself up. Go into lizard pose. So we walk the foot over to the outer edge of the mat. Curl your back toes under. Open that knee over to the opposite side of the mat. And again, you can keep your toes curled under here for support, or you can untuck them, but make sure that your heel is not just collapsing. Make sure that it's active. And then you can bring blocks underneath you, or you can come down to your forearms for about 3 breaths. And you're following. Inhale, press yourself back up, right where you are, sinking your hips toward your heels. I like to curl my toes under for the second turn. And then I don't know if you guys noticed, but I just allowed my heel to sweep with me backwards. And then this way I could hinge at my hips, come forward, give it one last stretch in this pose, and then coming up, planting your hands out in front of you. Remove anything that's around you. Step that foot back, top of a plank. Release your knees onto the earth. Bend at your elbows. Hug them toward your ribs, and then lead with your heart. Come forward and down as you swoop up for a cobra. Shoulders back, coming just as far as your belly button goes. Heels are drawing toward midline. Exhale, come back to a child's pose. Rest your forehead onto the mat here for a second. Let your elbows relax. Take a deep breath into your low back. And exhale, low back. And go ahead and plant your hands onto the earth as you come up through the tabletop. And then just walk your arms and hands forward. Bend your elbows, come down to your belly. Here, we're going to plant our hands by our sides, palms gripping onto the earth. As we inhale, look ahead of you, lift your torso, draw your shoulders back, and then bring your arms or your legs up with you. And then exhale, release everything down. We're going to take that again. Let's go ahead and see if you can press your pelvic bone. So open up your legs slightly so that your pelvis is like in full contact with the earth. Again, your hands are by your sides or gripping onto the mat or the earth. Walk your legs closer toward one another, together if possible, but giving that space for your pelvis to be in contact with the earth. Actually bring your hands by your sides, by your ribs for like a second, and then allow your torso to fully extend. I know sometimes it tends to pinch for me. All right, tops of the feet are on the mat, heels toward one another. Inhale, bring your torso up. Draw your shoulders back behind you. Lift the legs, heels toward one another. And if available to you, bring your arms up with you. Come a little bit higher. Inhale. Heels together. And exhale, release it down. Opposite cheek on the mat. Woo. All right, for this next one, we're gonna do bow pose. So we wanna bring your right arm out in front of you. I'm gonna have to scoot down. Okay. Right arm out in front of you. Top of the right leg is on the mat. Top of the right foot. Left leg comes, bend at your knee, comes up to meet the left hand. Pressing your pelvis into the earth. Your knees are going to want to open. Keep them together. And then allow your right hand to swoop back as you begin to lift your torso. You want to kick the back foot into the hand, and the hand is going to draw it up toward the sky. So go ahead and take an inhale and let it go. And then begin to take an inhale, look up at your hand, lift the torso, extend the arm, back foot kicking into the hand, draw it higher, press the torso a little bit higher, and then exhale, release it down. We're going to do the opposite side now. Just take a breath. Go ahead and bring your left arm over above you. Right foot in right hand. Your knees are going to want to open. Make sure you keep them as close together as possible. You're following inhale. Look up at your hands. Take an inhale. Lift the torso, begin to press that foot into the hand. Press yourself up a little bit higher. Knee toward midline, inhale higher. And then exhale. Whew. Release it all down. Next step is we're going to take both feet in both hands. Are you ready? Okay. Bend at your knees. Draw your feet toward your hands. If you have a strap, I meant to cue this. I'm so sorry. If you have a strap, you can always use a strap. I didn't bring mine today. But you would wrap around the tops of your feet on each side and then on both feet together. A towel works great too, a belt. So here we would grab the front of our feet, keep the knees together, draw your shoulders back, come onto your chin, and I just took a step down away from my hips with my thighs to give my torso all the possible space it needs. I'm going to press my hips, my pelvis into the earth. I'm going to draw my shoulders back. I'm going to begin to look up with my head, drawing the gaze higher. Knees together, pressing my feet into my hands. Hands draws my feet up toward the sky, lifting my torso a little bit higher. And then exhale, release it all down. It's a tough one. We're going to do that one more time, you guys. All right. Knees toward one another. Bend them. Grab the feet with your hands. Ah! All right. Draw the shoulders back. Begin to lift your torso. Inhale, come up. Knees are wanting to fly sideways. Bring them in toward midline. A little bit higher. And exhale. Oh my gosh. Release it all down. My Facebook got messed up. Hold on. Alright, 1 second here. Keep breathing. I see something that says closer camera, please. Oh, you can't hear me? I need to get a microphone. I'm gonna get a microphone, you guys. Aw, I don't do yoga sessions in Mendo, you guys, but I can meet with you on Zoom, on Instagram. All right. From where we are, I never moved. We're gonna place our hands, actually open your hands out to a T. We're gonna roll over to the right side. So you wanna roll, bring your left hand over by your shoulder. And then your right arm, actually let me do the left, I'm sorry. I'm gonna show you guys how to do this. So, all right, open your arms out to a T, right hand by right shoulder. Left hand is gonna walk with me slightly, rolling my whole body over that left shoulder as my spine aligns and cracks into place. Take a breath here. Go ahead and inhale. And as you exhale, very gently roll yourself back on your belly. Open the right arm out. Left hand by left shoulder. And then very gently roll your body over to the right side. The sides and pop. Breathe here. You're following inhale. Get ready to exhale. Roll yourself back onto your belly. Oh. All right, hands by your shoulders. Go ahead and come up through a cobra. Exhale. Plant your hips. Plant them. Release your hips back to a child's pose. Forehead onto the mat. Give yourself a breath here to transition back from the earth. As you come up through a tabletop, go ahead and walk your knees up to your hands. Come to the soles of your feet. Roll yourself up. Beautiful. And then open your feet over to mat width distance. Planting your hands out in front of you. Right hand comes in front of the knee. Can you guys see? And over to the outside. If available to you, you can bring your hand over to your low back. Stay right here. Or you can bring that left arm up, opening up your left clavicle, right shoulder. Press your chest forward. Don't allow the head to just kind of fall. Keep it lifted in alignment with your spine. Gaze over at that thumb, the upper thumb. Exhale, bring it down. We're gonna walk the left arm in front of the left knee over to the side. You can bring your right hand over to your low back. Stay right here. You can open the arm up toward the sky. Gaze at your thumb. Keep your head in alignment with your spine. Onto your bum bums for a second, keeping your torso lifted. Roll onto your sacrum and bringing your legs up. Go ahead and come into Barbie feet. You know how Barbies are always walking on their balls with their feet, high heels. Go into Barbie feet, keeping your torso lifted. When, if available to you, oh no, my Facebook is down. I'm sorry, Facebook. You're getting the crap end of this. Actually, yeah, I mean, wind, stop it. Hopefully it'll bring your arms over by your sides. We're going to tap both our feet down for 1, tap it down for 2, tap it down for 3. You're going to fold your legs, place them down, bring your arms over in front, and then step it back, top of a plank. Exhale all the way down, low plank. Inhale up for cobra. Exhale, come back through a child's pose. I at last minute curled my toes under. Inhale up for tabletop. And then here what I want to do is I want you to come up on your knees. And if you need to place something on your knees, go ahead and do so. Open your right leg out to the side, and the back of your left foot is on the mat. And see if you can align it in line, your front leg, opening up the knee so that you can gaze at your pinky toe. Now what I want to say is, see if you can get the outer edge of your outer foot parallel to the outer edge of the mat so that your toes kind of get pigeon-toed a little bit. And this way, when you open your knee, you push your hips forward slightly. You can gaze easier at your pinky toe. Here, inhale both of your arms up, and then exhale, place your right elbow down on the right thigh, and your left arm is going to pull this entire lateral side of your body. You want to open your heart slightly toward the sky, and you're really going to feel a stretch down your left hip. And go ahead and swoop it down. Woo, felt really good. And then bring that knee down. We're going to do the opposite side. So right leg comes down, top of my foot is on the mat. And I like to check so that my foot is like directly behind me. Not out, not in. And then left leg comes up, comes out. In alignment with my body, outer edges of the foot is parallel to the outer edge of the mat. I'm going to open up my knee so that I can look at my pinky toe. Pressing my hip forward, but lifting my pelvis up. I'm going to inhale both of my arms up, palms facing one another. Releasing the left elbow on my left thigh. And then leaning over to the left side. I like to swoop it forward, but it's like the same thing because I'm already there. And then I'm going to open my chest over toward the sky. Take a few breaths here. And then go ahead and circle it all back down. Hands are going to be on top of the mat. Come back through a plank position. Bend at your knees. Press your hips up and back for a downward facing dog. Look up at your hands and step it forward or walk it forward. Hands come back behind you. Come through a boat pose as you begin to release your chest down. No! My face focused down. You guys, we're going into Shavasana. So even though the video keeps messing up, unfortunately, I should have known that teaching outdoors was not a good idea. I just was like, it's great weather. This is probably the last. And then who knows, next week I might be able to continue to teach outdoors anyway, so we'll see. Shavasana, you guys, hold that for as long as you'd like. I'm going to just lay here for a second, take in the breath. Relax the jaw, relax the shoulders and the thighs. Another breath here, you guys, bringing the breath back into your being. Keeping your eyes closed as much as possible. Go ahead and press yourself up. You can stay in Shavasana a little longer, or you can come up with me if you have to get going like I do. I don't want the video to cut me out. I'm just going to come back to my Sukhasana and draw my hands back to my heart center. Palms together as I remind myself and everyone of just keeping an open heart. I love myself and everyone around me. If we can just repeat that throughout the day today, let's just see and check in with ourselves how we feel at the end of today. I love myself and everyone around me. Thank you so much for letting me guide you through this practice of yoga and opening of the heart. I hope to see you again next Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. May you have a wonderful Taco Tuesday. Namaste. And good job. You guys, awesome practice today. That was pretty tough, so don't feel bad if you couldn't do it all. However, I do encourage you to just kind of stick with it, see what you can do. One of these days I need to just like show you guys how bad I was when I first started. I like couldn't even like bend my back. Anyways, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.